Who's in charge on draft night?
I still think it's Gruden, but I think it's more so Mayock than people think. Obviously Reggie McKenzie, the last general manager, just less than 3 years ago won NFL Executive of the Year. That dynamic from the start, we knew that was all Gruden, not just because of what they're paying him, but because just the personalities. You could tell that Gruden was in charge, whether it be the Khalil Mack trade, the Amari Cooper trade. You could tell Gruden was calling the shots. I think they didn't hire Mike Mayock, and as you know Mike well. They didn't hire him to come in and really manage the nuances of the salary cap or make every personnel decision. They hired him because he's one of the most well-respected draft analysts in the business in the last 15 years. So this week in this war room for this 2019 NFL draft, I think Mike does have a lot more of a say than people might think. And if you have John Gruden's ear, that's step number one into, I don't want to say restricting his power, restricting his say, but I think the more Mike Mayock input you have this week, the better.
What about sending his scouts home, that they're not going to be involved on Thursday night or this weekend in Nashville?
Yeah, I think that was blown a little bit out of proportion just because, it's not totally out of the ordinary that they get Easter weekend off. And I think it was expected that there would be a lot of overhaul or turnover in the scouting department after the draft because of the new GM. I mean, you need the scouts up until the draft because they've done a whole season's worth of work on these college guys. But I think the one thing that maybe was a little eyebrow raising was that they wouldn't come back, and that, whether it be signing undrafted free agents or guys in the late round that Mayock and Gruden may need input on, these scouts reportedly won't be there to do that. So it was a little surprising, the not coming back part and how they're staying home for good. But in terms of sending them home and then on the back end, them eventually not coming back, I wasn't too surprised by that. And if there's anything I take away from it, it's that Mayock is overcompensating for kind of his tendency and the tendency this time of year for leaks to get out. And there have been leaks in the building as recent as last year, and even so, a couple weeks ago. So I think it's Mayock just being overly cautious in his first year as a GM. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that should be cause for concern if you're a Raiders fan.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.